The global energy network pulls millions of barrels of crude from beneath the ocean floor every single day. This network eventually funnels down to a neighborhood pump where localized prices inflict immediate financial pressure on drivers. A rising number on that sign suggests a direct, synchronized spike in the cost of extracting that crude. Comparing retail prices to production volume reveals a disconnect. While retail gas prices show severe, volatile spikes, global crude production often remains flat or even increases. Retail pricing functions as a lagging output of a fractured delivery system. To see the individual cost drivers, we have to reverse engineer the pricing stack. This isometric model separates 1 gallon into its constituent parts: local taxes, refining margins, and global crude costs. Deconstructing these layers shows that the nominal price on the sign is often a poor indicator of true economic damage. Fixed government taxes occupy the top layer of the stack. This burden splits into 2 blocks: a federal tax locked at 18 cents per gallon and a state-level portion that fluctuates by region. In Alabama, for instance, that state-level tax sits at roughly 30 cents per gallon. These funds are strictly earmarked for infrastructure, financing road maintenance and bridge repairs. Politicians often respond to price hikes by proposing tax suspensions to lower the immediate cost for drivers. Suspending these taxes creates long-term funding gaps for infrastructure projects that persist well after the market stabilizes. While these fixed amounts create a permanent price floor, they remain static by law and cannot trigger rapid daily volatility. The midstream layer handles the transition from raw molecules to usable fuel. Crude remains inert until it passes through the industrial complexity of a refinery. Energy flows from holding tanks into the refinery, where heat and pressure separate it into gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel. Currently, U.S. crude and distillate storage levels are dropping. Reserves are running roughly 2 to 3% below national historical averages. These reserves occupy massive tank farms, providing the physical buffer required to stabilize national supply. Dropping storage levels generate immediate, localized scarcity in the market. Refineries must scramble to process more crude to meet the shortfall, but their daily output is limited by a fixed mechanical capacity. This physical bottleneck puts upward pressure on retail costs, causing local prices to spike even when global crude is technically plentiful. The base of the stack is the global cost of crude, determined by the difference between immediate spot prices and long-term futures. The futures curve fluctuates based on geopolitical risk, particularly when conflicts threaten energy-producing regions. Global energy transit depends on militarized shipping routes, where a single disruption alters the pricing for the entire planet. This map centers on the Strait of Hormuz, a primary choke point through which lines of crude exports branch out to every global market. International policies attempt to mitigate these shocks, such as the European Union's price cap on Russian oil exports. The EU cap uses a dynamic formula. Currently, the ceiling is tethered to a global base price of roughly $44. If Middle East instability pushes the global price higher, the formula automatically moves the cap ceiling upward, driving it from $44 toward $60. This mechanical adjustment allows sanctioned nations to generate higher revenues despite international restrictions. The completed model shows a stack where global risk sets the baseline, domestic refineries control the flow, and local taxes define the floor. Shifting focus from the supply chain to individual households reveals that nominal costs are a deceptive metric for financial pain. A map of nominal gas prices shows California in dark red, suggesting high-tax regions suffer most. But adjusting this to measure gas expenditure as a percentage of median income changes the visual entirely. California fades, while West Virginia, Mississippi, and Louisiana turn dark red. Californians paying $6 a gallon often have a median weekly income over $2,000, meaning a tank of gas accounts for 4.5% of their pay. In West Virginia, households earning under $40,000 a year are more vulnerable. Even with prices in the low $2 range, they spend 5.2. Nationwide, the bottom quarter of U.S. earners now spends 4% of their total income strictly on commuting fuel. Pointing at a high gas station sign is often a political misdirection. The core economic pressure is the ratio of fuel costs to regional wages in areas without public transit.
When a daily expense becomes mathematically unsustainable, market forces drive consumers towards substitution. Middle East energy shocks have acted as a catalyst, forcing a pivot toward electric vehicles in developing markets. In the Philippines, workers are adopting electric three-wheelers as gas prices more than doubled in a single month. U.S. adoption remains slow due to high interest rates and behavioral barriers like range anxiety. The American workaround is currently focused on the used market, where a tax loophole for leased vehicles has increased the supply of affordable EVs. The price at the pump is a symptom of a compounding global matrix.
Escaping it requires addressing regional wage stagnation and expanding infrastructure rather than chasing cheaper crude.